What do you think VR headsets will look like in 20 years? Right now VR headsets are great, but they are very bulky. Do you think VR will be condensed into something like big glasses by then? Eventually there won't be a headset at all. Why send information through the eyes when you can send it direct to the brain? With advances in brain-computer interfaces, VR headsets won't need to exist. 20 years might be a bit soon, but certainly within 50 years we won't need screens at all. Your real mind tap is in your anus. I am from the future, and soon your science will learn of this. Future augmented reality will revolve, no pun intended, on butt plugs. These butt plugs will work much like the Avatar tentacles. These will connect directly inner soul through your gut biome. This is where the term gut from. I've been wearing one for 10-12 Earth years. Sometimes it feels great to unplug and just raw dog reality. It's a very intense wars over this. Men will slowly learn that they too have a G-spot, wink wink. They will look exactly like they do now, only buried under 20 feet of ash and burned out rubble that we once called our civilization. Or yeah, maybe like small glasses. The big change will be moving from resources having to be local, tethering your VR headset to a high-end gaming computer, to the cloud, wireless, and all CPU, GPU, RAM is provided from cloud databases via a monthly subscription. We already have 5G. But further advances in wireless speeds will also enable more lightweight AR/VR. Those two advancements will enable new form factors like lightweight glasses, and eventually implanted biochips or contact lenses for those who don't trust biochips. They will be smaller, but you still need kind of sensory deprivation and cover most of the view field. So definitely larger than sunglasses. Probably the size of a ski or an airsoft mask. The thing is, it is easier and, for now, better to have proper distances between the screen, lenses, and the eyes. Miniaturization will fight against the quality, and it's not guaranteed that someone would jump into a risky lower quality section when VR is still in such a bad image quality speaking state. Essentially like slightly bulkier glasses, with smaller sensors, more advanced screens, and better battery tech, you can likely get away with making them semi-portable for a reasonable amount of time. And with consumer limitations being what they are, the notion that VR needs practical applications for mass adoption, think word processors in 90s computers, it's more likely going to be a hybrid AR/VR set that replaces conventional screens and needs to be recharged every 4-6 hours. AR in the streets, VR in the sheets and offices and living rooms. I think we just plug ourselves into the internet like in that one Simpson episode. In 50 years our heads will probably be the headset interfaced with microchips. A VR helmet with a huge glass visor would be so much more comfortable and give you a much wider view. Plus jumping around or even running would not affect the image or cause anything to fall. Plus if you fall, your head is protected, plus much better than having something stuck to your brain. Lol. No headset, just computer brain interface. Basically metaverse will be real and everyone will want to be a part of it. The Matrix is gonna happen. Except it may or may not be ran by robots. People will be asking how long until VR really catches on and what headsets will look like in 20 years. Hopefully, not headsets. Maybe contact lenses. Or something that looks more like a pair of glasses than a headset. And if I get my wish, then it will be a brain-computer interface that directly interacts with the nervous system by stimulating the various sensory centers of the brain. I will be interested when they are just contact lenses. Probably not a lot diff than today. Just smaller and lighter. I don't think we'll see anything beyond that until 50 or 100 years from now. My guess would be something along the lines of the close-fitting swim goggles. To keep light out, but still small and light. In 20 years I think the world will be too much a hellscape for any high-resource entity to be preoccupied with that. I think there will be more of a focus on technologies such as desalination, nuclear fusion and military robotics. In the field of computers, AI is definitely a field that's here to stay. While quantum computing and brain-computer interfaces may yet gain significant secondary importance, I think it'll be the same as today. VR is a tricky thing. I do see AR advancing though. Maybe an attachment to regular glasses. Probably the same as they do now, which is how they looked for the last 20 years. My thought they won't be much different in capability nor form. VR, like 3D movies, has long been a cyclical fad that never quite catches on in a durable way. That said, predicting the future has a very low rate of accuracy, so being wrong won't surprise me. The Zuck has said numerous times that he thinks we will have 15 years. We will have virtual reality with all 5 senses. He explains it like it's lucid dreaming. By 2030 you'll own nothing and be happy. Moldy and yellowed. IMHO, it's just a gimmick destined to fail. Maybe parts will live in some refined augmented reality tech. Maybe neural interfaces. But it's still more of a science fiction than futurology right now. Probably a small neural network that's transdermal and stimulates various areas of our brain to create environments internally, completely bypassing our eyeballs, ears, nose and mouth. Just imagine the smells in your favorite video games. In all seriousness, I think in 10 years they'll be smaller, sleeker, more akin to glasses. I don't think we'll reach as far as a direct neural interface by that time or anything so sleek and high-tech. But I think the technology will become smaller and more affordable. With advancements in science occurring at what seems like an exponential rate, it is silly to try to predict how anything will look in 20 years. Just my opinion, of course. I'd love for something like what was developed in the movie Brainstorm to be around in my lifetime. Gimme the word of a SAO-style beta test, I'll throw everything away. I can see AR glasses developing over time to make our current world a virtual reality. Like add custom textures and virtual mods to anything we look at. Kinda like the Google glasses that didn't take off but with a tight seal to your head. I think you won't have headsets at all. I think we will have moved to direct retinal projection systems, something like an array or single position projection system around the home that tracks your pupils and directly projects images to your retina so only you see the image. I think they'll be replaced by AR headsets, and subsequently neural interfaces. You'll have an implant installed at an outpatient clinic. It may be hidden beneath the skin. There will not be VR by itself. It'll be AR with the VR component adjustable between 0 and 100%, depending on situation. Cableless, lighter and smaller, with even higher resolution and more precise whole body tracking. Basically, everything that we have now, but on steroids. I don't think VR will transform into a cybernetic type experience where the screen is just played through your brain, but rather VR will probably advance to just putting on a set of lightweight gloves and glasses. 20 years better be enough time for some nerve gear or I'll be pissed. Full immersion is the key. Once we can trick the brain into being fully immersive, the hardware will shrink down. Maybe not glasses, but goggles? I'm excited either way. VR is still in its early age right now. But once it hits that threshold where we fully believe we are in that environment, the possibilities are endless.